Kun thifnik, din sadayang namubanlakhang nirim haysi, mimakaru amangkalongtung kun marux mankalangray iker bank niklaban, take honey, say nunkake titan kapali and thuxyong pitladkal. The first drop of rain fell on the cracked earth. It made a sound, soft, like a sigh from something long asleep. The scent of the wet soil rose, thick and heavy, carrying memories that Lila never wished to remember. She stood barefoot, feeling the mud slip between her toes. The red soil of her village always came alive with the rain, breathing, moving, whispering. But tonight, the rain felt different. Colder. The clouds above did not roar like before. They only watched. Lila's small hut stood at the edge of the field, half hidden behind the old neem tree. She looked at it through the curtain of rain. There was a dim glow inside. A lantern she had not left burning. Her breath caught in her throat. She took a step forward. Then another. The rain hit her harder now. Each drop stung her skin. The smell of the earth turned stronger, almost metallic. Like blood. She stopped halfway across the field. Her eyes caught something, footprints. Fresh, deep, leading straight to her hut. She bent down. The prints were too large to be hers. The rain began to fill them, turning them into small, trembling pools. Lila's heart began to race. Her fingers trembled as she lifted the edge of her soaked shawl and covered her head. From the hut, a faint sound came. A single creak of wood. Then silence. Her pulse thundered in her ears. She whispered her brother's name. No answer. Only the sound of rain. A flash of lightning tore through the sky, and for a brief second, she saw something inside the hut. A shape, still, watching. The light faded, darkness returned, heavier than before. She tried to speak, but her throat was dry. Her mind screamed to run, yet her feet stayed rooted in the wet soil. Something was wrong with the rain. It was no longer falling straight. It was swirling, as if drawn toward the hut. The lantern inside flickered. Once, twice. Then it went out. Lila stepped back. Her heels slipped in the mud. The earth beneath her moved, not like water, but like breath. She gasped. The soil under her feet felt warm. As if something beneath was waking up. A sound came from below, soft, but alive. Lila turned toward the neem tree for support. Her fingers brushed its bark, and she froze. The tree was wet, but not from rain. Something darker dripped down its trunk. She lifted her hand. The liquid on her fingers was thick, red, and warm. Before she could scream, another flash of lightning struck, revealing the field in full for just an instant. Everywhere the rain touched, the soil was no longer red. It was bleeding. Lila staggered backward. Her breath came in shallow gasps. The rain hit her face like shards of glass, each drop sharper than the last. She tried to wipe the red smear from her hand, but it only spread. The color clung to her skin, thick and alive. Her eyes darted toward the hut again. The door, once closed, now stood slightly open. A sliver of darkness stared back at her. Her heart pounded so hard she could feel it in her ears. The wind shifted, blowing the wet scent of soil and something else, a faint, sweet rot. It reminded her of old flowers left too long at a grave. She stepped closer, each foot sinking deeper into the pulsing mud. Every step made a soft, sucking sound, as if the earth itself wanted her to stay. The closer she moved to the hut, the heavier the air became. Her skin felt damp and sticky. The shadows seemed to breathe. She whispered, "Is anyone there?" No voice answered, only the low hum of the rain, steady and endless. When she reached the door, she saw it clearly. Finger marks along the wood, deep and wet. 5 lines, each carved into the grain, as if someone had clawed to get out. Her body froze. Something inside told her not to go in. But her heart, fragile, trembling, begged for answers. She pushed the door open. The hinges groaned like an old man waking from a long, painful sleep. Inside, the lantern lay shattered. Glass glimmered on the wet floor. The air smelled of smoke and something burnt. Her brother's bed was empty. The blanket torn, the pillow stained with a dark patch that glistened in the light from the storm. "Ravi," her voice cracked. No reply. She turned slowly, her eyes adjusting to the dim glow that filtered through the broken roof. Then she saw it. Footprints again, leading from the bed to the back wall. But the wall had no door. Lila stepped forward, tracing the prints with her bare feet. The rain outside grew louder, angrier. She pressed her hand against the wall. It was warm. A faint vibration pulsed beneath it. And then, a sound. Low, rhythmic, like a heartbeat. The wall was breathing. She stumbled back, clutching her shawl tight against her chest. Her throat went dry. The red light from the storm flickered through the cracks, and for the first time, she saw the marks etched into the wall, Circles, symbols, handprints, drawn in something that looked too real to be paint. Her brother had warned her once. He said the land was cursed. That their grandfather had buried something beneath this hut long ago. Something the rain awakened. She never believed him. Until now. A sound behind her made her turn sharply. The door, swinging shut on its own. It slammed. The hut trembled. The floor beneath her rippled like liquid. She fell to her knees. Her palms sank into the red mud that was now seeping through the cracks of the wooden floor. It moved around her fingers like veins. She tried to stand, but the mud pulled harder, clutching at her legs. "Let go," she screamed, but her voice drowned under the roar of the storm. Then, from below, came another voice. Soft, almost familiar. "Lila." Her breath stopped. It was Ravi's voice. "Ravi, where are you?" In the soil. Her heart twisted. She looked down. Beneath the floorboards, a pale hand was reaching upward, fingers trembling, covered in red. Tears filled her eyes. She bent down to grab it. The moment her skin touched his, a freezing pain shot through her arm. The mud hissed, and the red light outside flared brighter. Her brother's hand gripped hers tightly, too tightly. She tried to pull away, but his fingers locked like stone. When she looked again, his face appeared through the shifting soil below. Half of it was there. Half buried. Eyes open, lips whispering her name. "Help me." Lila screamed and pulled harder, but the earth swallowed him deeper. Only his voice remained, echoing from beneath the ground. "Stay with me." She shook her head violently, falling backward. Her arm was covered in red veins, spreading under her skin. She crawled toward the door, but the floor pulsed again, alive and angry. Outside, the rain fell harder, turning the field into a moving sea of red. The neem tree bent with the storm, its trunk still bleeding. The ground bulged, as if something enormous was pushing upward from below. Cracks spread across the field, and steam rose through them, carrying the smell of iron and decay. Lila's scream mixed with the thunder as the hut's roof split apart. Rain poured in. The red soil surged like a wave, swallowing everything in its path. Her bed, the lantern, the wall covered in handprints. She grabbed the wooden beam for balance, but it slipped from her grasp. Her body fell into the rising flood of soil and water. The moment it touched her skin, she felt the pulse again, the same heartbeat she had heard through the wall. Now it was inside her, beating, matching her own. She gasped as the red soil covered her fat years past. The storm that took Lila became a story that mothers whispered to their children when the skies turned gray. No one rebuilt the hut. No one dared to plow that land again. But the soil remained alive, deep red, rich, and strangely warm even in winter. Every season, travelers passing by would stop and stare at the field. They said it shimmered differently when it rained. Some claimed they saw shapes in the mist. A girl standing barefoot, her hair flowing like dark rivers. Her face turned toward the clouds. She never moved. She never spoke. But the rain always began after she appeared. The elders said the land had taken what it wanted. The sacrifice made the fields fertile again. And sometimes, when the first drops touched the earth, they carried a fragrance unlike any other. A blend of rain, life, and longing. Those who were brave enough to walk through that rain said it felt like someone was holding their hand, gently guiding them, whispering without words. The red soil pulsed softly under their feet, as if remembering a heartbeat. On the nights when thunder rolled over the horizon, and lightning touched the neem tree, a faint voice rose through the sound of the storm. It was not a scream. It was not pain. It was a song, a quiet, tender melody, woven from love, loss, and earth itself. The villagers still listen when it rains. Some bow their heads. Some whisper her name, because they believe that Lila never vanished. She became part of the land she loved. Her spirit still breathes through the red soil, through the rain that blesses it, through the crops that feed the living. And when the sky darkens, and the first drop falls, the soil sighs again, just like it did that night. Soft, alive, eternal.